I wanted to do a quick video tonight about something I saw on social media a couple days ago. It's about Ackerman and Formula One cars. So let's roll the intro. Let's talk about Ackerman. I've spent the last 30 plus years working on race cars, building race cars, and racing cars. And I'm here to help you better understand racing technology. I saw on social media the other day someone saying that Formula One cars actually tow in or run reverse Ackerman on the left front when making a left turn and the right front when making a right turn. So basically their inside tire is turning less than the outside tire, which is completely backwards than what I talk about. When we first started building our cars, we were using a spindle off of a very prominent chassis manufacturer. And what I found is as I started rolling this car into the corner and turning the wheels, that the Ackerman is off. And that's when I got started down this Ackerman journey a little bit. At that time, I didn't have a good way to measure the Ackerman, so I was doing it with tape measures, and I think we eventually got a set of turn plates. But we were doing everything we can to try to investigate this Ackerman thing until Burkhofer came along and we got talking about it, and he gave me his view. And his view sounded about the best I could think about at the time, so we started going that direction. See, Ackerman was originally developed, I heard, the oldest story I heard is back in the Old West with the horse-drawn carriages and stagecoaches. Their wheels were made out of wood. And what would happen is when you take a turn, if the Ackerman doesn't go with the stagecoach, all that weight would break the centers out of those wooden wheels. The original thought of Ackerman in the automotive industry is when the tires turn, the inside turns more because it has less of a path than the outside tire. So the inside would turn more, the outside tire, and there's actually a correlation. If you draw a line through the center line of your tire, perpendicular tire, and then through the center line, and you do the same to the outside, it should line up with where the rear axle is in a turn. I don't think you can ever get it perfect, but that's the idea. So then when the car is rolling around a corner, there is no scrub. It is a perfect turn. In a perfect world, we still have to make sure that everything else works out. Caster, camber gain, caster gain, toe. Everything else needs to work out also, so there's always a give and take. But that's the original idea of Ackerman, so I've heard. My idea of Ackerman comes from adding traction to a tire. The more slip angle you put into a tire, the more you turn a tire, the more likely it is to grab and turn the car. And that's because you're inputting rubber gets stretched and the snapping back into position of that rubber as the tire rotates and leaves the contact patch is what turns the car. So as you turn more, in our case, if our car is tight, the more we turn left in a tight car, eventually you're going to put enough traction in those tires to help it turn the corner. We all know that when your car goes in and it's tight, you just keep turning that wheel till it turns, or you get out of the gas more, get more weight on the front. You do whatever you need to do to get that car to turn. But here's the other part of the Ackerman I talk about. As your car rolls and weight starts coming off that left front, there is not the same traction as was there when all tires were planted evenly. So as your left front gets lighter, you need to put more traction in that tire to get the car to turn. That's where I say you need to start increasing slip angle on the left front. As the tire gets lighter, you need to turn that left front tire more to get the same amount of traction into it. Ackerman actually follows the way we think. When we think about Ackerman, or we think about turning into the corner and the car's rolling up on top the right front and you need to put more traction in that left front's getting lighter, it needs to turn more. That we need to increase Ackerman on the left front as you're turning left. Put more traction into that left front tire. I recommend 3/4 of an inch to an inch more traction into that tire. When I was talking about that other chassis manufacturer, I'm not going to say a name, getting away with reverse Ackerman or the tires towing in as the car rolls around, is the fact that they recommend a large amount of toe, 3/4 of an inch, or even more, which makes sense as long as you can make sure that those tires never toe in. I guess you can get away with running a large amount of Ackerman, just as long as you can make sure that the tires never toe in. The problem with a lot of toe out is that there's a ton of scrub. So what I also say is with bump steer, your tires in a normal situation will run down a track maybe 18 degrees or 15 degrees or so turned counter steer. You want to eliminate bump steer and get that down, because then that will take scrub out of the car. What I'm saying with Ackerman is if you get in a tight car situation, your brain says, man, we got to get this thing to turn. As you turn left, the left front tire turns more, puts more traction in there, and it turns the car. So I know Formula One is like the epitome of knowledge and technology, and there may be a reason why they're doing this, or maybe the poster of the posted information was a little bit wrong. I'm not sure. I saw it on a video on social media. It kind of freaked me out. But I'm just telling you the way I see things. And if anybody has a better idea into this or insight into this, please leave them in the comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Okay, there's a couple different ways you can measure Ackerman. I've seen it done both ways. I like the second way better. But this is basically what it is. If you're turning left, the left front tire turns more than the right front. If you have a set of turn plates or you can measure it in degrees, it's like the right front would turn 4 degrees, the left front would turn 18 degrees. But that's one way of doing it statically on the ground. This is the other way you can do it, is Sweet Manufacturing sells an Ackerman gauge, and it's a set of tape measures where you can put your car up on jack stands and even put your front tires with ride height bars in them so you can simulate the way the thing is racing down the track. And then you take a measurement of the back, and the front would be a quarter to a half inch more as you're turning left. It could be up to 3/4 of an inch, but this is basically measuring how the Ackerman works. You turn the tire and the toe will get bigger in the front and smaller in the back. There's a couple different ways you can adjust this, and it's with the length of the steering arms and the relationship to the steering arms to the tire or the outside or inside. If you turn these and you make the tie rods a little longer and you angle it out, it will actually speed up or slow down a tire on the corner as the car turns left or turns right. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. YouTube loves it when people hit the like button and subscribe. It'll really help out my channel. It'll allow me to do these videos and help more people. So hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.